Hey, what's going on, guys? Battle Nation Zimper here, back today with another video. Today, guys, we have another new video type. I know we did a lot of Battle Nations gameplay and discussions, and we could definitely do more of those, but I feel we kind of got in a cycle of that, and I want to get some more new content in here, some new exciting Battle Nations content in here for you guys. So, as we discussed in the last video about the release and future of Battle Nations, this video I want to focus more on advice within Battle Nations, the game itself, if that makes sense. So with the game, of course, coming out very, very soon, as we discussed in the last video, with pretty much just, it being polished and looking good, mainly some server stuff, which is a little bit above me, if I'm being honest. But nevertheless, the game coming very soon, I think it's kind of crucial that we have some, I guess you could say, just advice of how to play the game, basic, just on there on the internet. And I think there is a good bit of Battle Nations tutorials and advice on the internet, but a lot of it's very old, and a lot of it wasn't really recorded with proper screen recorder. I'm not sitting here and saying I have the best screen recorders. Lord knows I don't. On my iOS, I just use the base one installed on it, and on this I just use a application called Wolf Pro or something along those lines. I don't even know the name of it, but nevertheless, I want to make this video being a tutorial on resources. So resources are what I've been building a bit throughout the game, and what I normally build quite a lot of. So the main resources within Battle Nations are stone, which you can see the regular and nanopod version here. And by the way, every single resource collector has a regular version that you can buy with gold in game, and then a nanopod version, which you can buy with just nanopods. Of course, you have to spend real money on or earn nanopods throughout the game. And of course, the nanopod ones are basically the exact same version of the regular ones, except they do double the output and they look a lot cooler. So that's pretty much the only difference. So you have stone, then you have lumber, these two right here. Then you have iron, these two right here. Then it jumps to, then it jumps to oil, and then concrete, jumping to coal, jumping to steel right here, to lumber, and then finally we have plasma. And you will know a few you will notice a few that aren't necessarily resources themselves, like for example things like the warehouse, and what was another one laid down here? The warehouse, large warehouse, high capacity vault. These are extra storage capacities for the resources. The very first one that you will build early on in your game is the small warehouse. It is the first one, as you can see in the line, and all it does is allow you an extra 500 of each resource, as it says right here. But early on in the game, that can go a long way, and it can help you, again, get some of these early on other resources. So, of course, you will just have to pick one of these. You can pick the regular one or the nanopod one, and just to be a little bit more realistic to the free-to-play style, I'll build the rest of them in free. Won't be building any more of the advanced. So once you build these resource collectors, they will endlessly produce out that particular resource for you indefinitely, as long as you have enough capacity for it. So if your capacity, let's say, is just two warehouses, which only allow you 500 each, your max capacity is 1,000, all you can hold is 1,000 capacity. So once you hit 1,000 wood, once you hit 1,000 stone, you're immediately stopped off, and then it's going to cap you at 1,000. So that's the one way it can stop. The only other way your resource production can stop is if you don't have one of these. This is a resource deposit. As its description reads, resource deposits manage your haulers and serve as a collection point for the resources from nearby mines and quarters. A resource deposit can only serve a limited area, so as you expand to more distant resources, be sure to build more depots nearby. That's absolutely correct. So I put one right here nearby. Unfortunately, the sandbox doesn't show the radius, but back in the OG game, what it would do is if you put it down right here, it would hit this coral, it would hit this logging machine right over here. It probably wouldn't hit this mine or anything else, but it would hit these two. So the haulers would go out, they would collect stone, they would collect wood, and they would be able to collect these resources. And if you wanted to, of course, expand outwards, you would just buy another and put it probably a good position maybe right here, because that one hits this quarters, this dense woods, and this iron mine right up here. And of course the haulers are just those little oh man, doesn't do anything if I toggle it on or off. But yeah, the haulers are just those little trucks right down there. And yeah, resources are used for practically everything in the game. Nanopods are of course the most universal, as it is with pretty much any mobile game. But in game, it's going to be all base resources. Pretty much all of them are somewhat adjacent to the map. So obviously, like, you know, this is a stone quartz, you get stone from it. This is a oil quartz or oil deposit, you get oil from it. This is an iron deposit. Oh, by the way, in the real game you absolutely cannot move these around. I just have, cheats on, since, this is a sandbox build. But in the base game you will come up to these deposits and build them. The only exceptions to having to find a deposit on your base and building a collector on top of it is the steel mill, which you can just throw down anywhere and it'll start collecting for you. Let's bring it back to our base over here. Just throw down the steel mill, it'll start collecting for you, and the lumber mill, which is the exact same way, which you can throw down. And of course, the steel mill turns iron into steel. The lumber mill, as you can imagine, turns wood into lumber. And then, I'm sorry, there's one more I forgot. There is concrete, which is of course turning stone into concrete, which we have right here. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, that's the layout we have, and that is what the resources in this game look like. It's a pretty standard resource model for a game like this. I never had issue with it. I guess the only thing I could say I personally never kind of could get behind is the storage. I really hate how they did it, because I always felt I was building so many of these and it was taking up so much of my time and energy and other resources just to build, these vast warehouses. I honestly spent a lot of my nanopods, not even on any of the exclusives, but simply just getting high capacity storage vaults and the others just to build up my capacity. Because these guys, of course, were the best bang for your buck, of course, being Nanopod exclusive. But yeah, that will just about do it for today's resource video. This was a scripted video, that's why it was much more in sync, why it was kind of much more laid back, much more scaled. I just want to go around and kind of show all of the resources, if that makes sense. So nothing too insane, but just want to kind of, I guess you say, build up the map a little bit. Going to do more of these. The next video I plan to be on housing and covering Battle Nations housing and how housing works throughout Battle Nations. So if you'd be interested in that video, please let me know down below. If there's anything you're curious about within Battle Nations, something you may not understand or just kind of weirds you out, don't maybe know enough, or maybe you'd just like to know more about on Battle Nations, please comment that down below. Let me know what that is, and I would love to get down to it and make a video about it if you'd like. And with all that being said, I think that will just about do it for us today, guys. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video, especially if you watched it all the way through to this point. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And with all that being said, thank you very much for watching today, guys, and as always, have a great rest of your day.